Rashonda Thornton, the Dietitian Against Diets podcast show. I'm presenting my Play to Win series, which is the small snippets from my book, Play to Win Your Food Fight. Every week I come with different topics that kind of helps you through your nutrition journey. I will tell you that my book, Play to Win, is a book full of tools, not rules, on your journey. Check it out. Go to my website and grab one. Before we go into it, I do want to recognize one of my podcast partners here in St. Louis, particularly, called Precision Massage. They are known to be the best kept secret when it comes to pain relief therapy. Beth Maddox is the owner there. She has a therapy that's called neuromuscular targeted relief. And what that means, it means that she targets those particular areas that your body needs when it comes to releasing the muscle tension, finding where those aches and pains are at, and also helping you to find ways to where it doesn't progress. Right now, especially during the COVID-19 crisis, we have been inside our homes, been kind of stuck, and I'm sure our body is tight, where they have opened back up their boutique and they are offering a reset relaxation massage. Along with that, they're offering a discount. So for $20 off, you can get a $55 massage for 60 minutes. And I know we all can use something like that. So go to their website, look up the Reset Relaxation Massage button at their website at www.precisionmassagestl. Grab some gift certificates as well. I think we all need them. I'm sure you have family and friends that need them as well. So go on the website, learn about their approaches, learn about their services, and jump on it. So as we are going to talking about this particular topic, I decided, especially now we have a lot of attention to social media and what we're looking at, and we can be bombarded a lot of times with how we feel about ourselves, especially when we see others on the social media feed. So we're going to talk about how to stop comparing ourselves to others. Right now, especially considering the conditions, we are living in a world where we gauge ourselves by the person next to us, the person that we see, and when you do that, this creates what we call creates a new standard for how we see ourselves. We sometimes look at it as a litmus test, like that's who I should look like at this point of my life. And then from there, we create our values off of that, and I think that creates a lot of pressure in just how we start treating our body and how we start treating ourselves. And if you look at it, it's not just our physical body, our health, as far as what we look in the mirror, but you can turn that and use that in other areas, how you compare yourself when it comes to your career, your parenting skills, your fashion, your marriages and relationships. And from when you're comparing yourself to others, we always reset our standards of what we expect for ourselves. But I look at it like this way. We are individual people when it comes to our body, especially, every 35-year-old woman would not look the same. Every 60-year-old woman would not look the same. So it's kind of like, I like to say, use the analogy of puppy dogs. I mean, if you have a German Shepherd, you don't expect the German Shepherd to have the same height, stature, weight as a Cocker Spaniel, or do you of a Chihuahua? Like, I know it may sound far-fetched, but just like them, they all have the same common traits, but at the end of the day, they're dogs. And they all come in different sizes and shapes. And I believe that to be the same when it comes to us as human individuals. We're all made genetically different. We have our own characteristics that reflect the essence of who we are. So when we try to look at others and decide that that's who we should look like, we're taking away the opportunity to really appreciate what we have as far as our body, and how can we make our body to be the most healthiest as where it's at. And as humans, we are pressured also, right? You see social media, you see the movies, we all are pressured to mimic or match up with another person. And guess what that makes us? It makes us feel that we're either not enough, we're too much, we're lacking, we're inadequate. And if I were to ask you, are any of those words positive? And for the most part, they're all meant to make you feel bad about yourselves. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is, the things that when you do see, your favorite movie star or a person that you kind of adore on social media, or even a relative or friend from high school, like when you see that person, what is that you see? What's the first thing that you recognize on them? Are you recognize that they're just having a great time with their family? Or are you looking at, their body in a way of saying, I should look like that, or, Why if doesn't my body conform to those same measurements as they do that person, you know? And when we see those things, those are the languages that we're telling ourselves. We are immediately, without even thinking twice, compare ourselves to those images of those people. And I think we do it. It's such a common thing. We do it subconsciously. We do it without even thinking about it. Our brain, our minds, they go directly there. Um, and then guess what? Now, how do we feel? We, again, go back to the first point I was making. We don't feel like we live up to where we're supposed to be, and then we become disappointed in ourselves. And, there is something to say of feeling conviction that where that you could have, made choices that would have improved your health, or you could have made choices that would have deter you from perhaps gaining extra weight, or, some of your health conditions. There are things that we can't control, but in light of all of it, everyone's body is different. So when you are able to stop comparing yourselves and matching yourself up to the next person, you can take that time to focus on self. And so that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to understand how it works when it comes to your food and your body and nutrition. Nutrition is not just a rule book that you have to follow and follow rule by rule, play by play. And if you miss the pass or if you overrun the pass, you messed up. It's actually the other way around. You want to be able to find and incorporate the idea in the process that nutrition is something that is built around you. You are a part of the equation. You are a part of the process. That goes to launch your body, your health. And guess what? We all, even just your mindset, that's a big part too, because we all go at different paces and we all have different outcomes. So it's not like there's not a 30-day plan that's going to promise you 15 pounds of weight loss. There's not a 30-day plan that's going to increase your muscle tissue by 7-8%. It doesn't work that way. But if we think that that's the expectation, we find ourselves totally disappointed when that day 31 comes and we don't see those type of changes. So again, understanding that everyone is different and everyone moves at different paces. And those paces are relative to who you are and what your body is versus relative to that next person. And again, the outcome is going to be different. So let's start focusing on ourselves and create our own standard and not focusing on others and living off their standards. So remember two things. You can't rush change and you cannot force change. And when you do, I promise you it is a short-lived celebration. It's a short-lived struggle that you took yourself through just to see the change, but it's not something that's sustainable. And it's not something that you will find yourself being able to maintain for years and years. That's the goal. The goal is understanding that you can't force change, you can't rush it. You have to take time. Now, I say take time. We're not in a world where time is something that we look up to. We look for things that are quick, that are fast, that the quicker the fastest. That's our idea of success. But no, not when it comes to your body and when it comes to nutrition. It's all about taking time. It's all about learning what patience means and how to apply that in your nutrition journey. Now, when I say take time, it's not just taking time so that you can change physically. The biggest piece is taking time so you can change emotionally, because there's a strong correlation between how our body changes and how we feel about our body and the choices we make while they're changing. So understand taking time means emotional first before I would say physical. Now, what that means, take time to learn and work through those struggles. When I say learn and work through those struggles, if there are areas in your life where you feel weak, you find that every holiday come around, you find yourself in the same boat. When there is a vacation, you feel like it always puts you back to where you started. Those are those areas where you can take time with your nutrition to learn how to navigate through those waters. Because guess what? Every year, it's going to be a holiday. Every year, it's going to be a birthday celebration. So we can't allow ourselves to unfold every single time that comes around every year. We can take time and learn about a nutrition to not say overcome, because it's not about overcoming, but to work through those waters and be able to feel and know that you were successful on the other end. Instead of rushing to get to a certain number and then trying to ignore the fact that the weekend is coming up, or ignore the fact that there's an anniversary coming up and you know that if the outcome is not going to be what you want. So take time to learn how to navigate through those waters versus trying to sweep them under the rug, because only the rug will only pile up and it will only get worse and it won't get better. Take time to learn how to be reactionary. I'm sorry, not learn how to be reactionary, but recognize when you're reactionary. When I say reactionary, those are our triggers. Whenever we're upset, we know exactly what we want to have to make us feel better. Whenever we are short on time and we have, instead of having 30 minutes to eat lunch, we may have 5 plan. And the default plan tend to not be as healthier as the original plan. We always find proactive. Now, let me give you the difference. Proactive is when you are able to plan out what it is that you're going to have for the day. You're going to plan out a default plan. So when you find that your time is cut short, you already have a backup plan to where you already know that your food is going to be, you know where to go to get your food, or you have a plan to make something really quick so that you won't compromise on your nutrition. So start recognizing your reactionary moments and start creating proactivity moments. If you're stressed out, you know that you go for those chips and you know those chips ends up being emptied out in that bag. Decide to switch to chips. Decide to find something different to work with you through that stress until you're able to not depend on anything as far as your foods that would trigger when you are stressed. So again, it's about being proactive and taking steps. But in order for it to happen, again, you have to take time. And last but not least, take time means not feeling like you have to go 100%. Now, you've heard me say this several times. 85 percenters is what we want to go for, not being 100%. 100% means you are striving to be this idea of perfection, and you know that you're not meant to uphold that. We're not meant to uphold it as humans. So let's try to be a strong B plus. Strong B plus in our choices. Strong B plus in learning new things and being consistent. And I guarantee you, being that 85%, being an 85% club, you'll definitely find that you come out way ahead of time than you were if you were to try to go 100%. So as I'm closing, again, just remember the moral of this topic is stop comparing yourself to others and start learning how to take time. Take time to learn to grow and change emotionally and then physically. And with those coupled together, I guarantee you your journey to your body's changes, your health changes will become more successful and more sustainable than it was in your prior times that you tried. Thank you guys for listening. And as we're about to close, as I'm always talking about healthy food and healthy stuff, there's this company. I'm sorry, not the company. Well, actually, it is a company. Undeniably Dairy. Undeniably Dairy is a campaign through Midwest Dairy Council. And we all know when it comes to dairy products, whether it's your cottage cheese, whether it's your milk, whether it's string cheese, which is what I have on a regular basis, Greek yogurt, they all come with multiple vitamins and nutrients that our body needs to just thrive. So learn more about what undeniably dairy means. It means more than just, yes, the food is healthy. We all know that. But even understanding like who they are and what Midwest Dairy stand for, Midwest Dairy Council stand for, when it comes to farm care, animal care, product care, the relationships and learning and knowing about what happens behind the scenes of your food products. Go to their website at dairygood.org or follow them on Instagram at dairygood and find them on Facebook at dairygood. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time.